This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Whether you're packing for a vacation or dressing for a wedding, Nordstrom has head-to-toe looks for wherever summer takes you. From swimwear and bold color to romantic florals and dresses that make an entrance, find the right style for every unforgettable moment. Shop new arrivals from brands you love like Farm Rio, Free People, Vince, Wait, and Stod. Plus free shipping and returns and styling help whenever you need it make it all so easy. Shop now in stores at Nordstrom.com or download the Nordstrom app.
Girl, winter is so last season. And now spring's got you looking at pictures of tank tops with hungry eyes. Your algorithm is feeding you cutoffs. You're thirsty for the sun on your shoulders. That perfect hang on the patio sundress. Those sandals you can wear all day and all night. And you've had enough of shopping from your couch. Done hoping it looks anything like the picture when you tear open that envelope? It's time for a little in-person spring treat. It's time for a trip to Ross. Work your magic.
And this is K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas. Welcome back to another episode, guys. I am so excited to talk about the drama that we're going to talk about today. And I am actually joined by Becky from Don't Sue Rebecca on TikTok. How are you, Becky?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing so well. I was telling you earlier, I was like, I haven't talked to anybody like all day long. So this is the first time I'm talking to somebody. I'm sorry if I sound a little weird. Becky has been on several episodes of the drama trio over on Liliana's Tea and Soju podcast. And so we have recorded before, but this is the first time that you're on Taebak. Like, this is a special day. We're doing a special, nice, easy comfort watch, I would feel, to ease you in. For those of you who don't follow you on TikTok, which I feel like everybody should follow you on TikTok, but what has been your experience watching K-dramas? If you want to list off maybe a couple of K-dramas that you really enjoy watching, your favorite genres, maybe, just to get a little intro on you.
Yeah, of course. My throat is also not working this morning. So I've been watching K-dramas for a while now. I actually looked because you asked me how many I've watched. I've watched like over 100 at this point.
Hey.
But I think my favorite ones, I love a good romance story, especially one with like a lot of emotional depth. So, I mean, I love Our Beloved Summer so much. An older one that I really like, I don't know if a lot of people have seen it, but Sassy Go-Go is just like, there's so many layers to it. If you've never watched it, it's very interesting.
Nice.
And then the newest one that is like one of my favorites is Moving. And if like no one has seen Moving, they need to see Moving. It is a masterpiece.
Oh my God.
Actual masterpiece.
It is. I love Moving. We did cover it on the feed a little earlier. I don't remember what episode, but if you scroll back, you'll find the Moving episode. I love it. I am so glad that it's up for a bunch of Baeksang awards. The Baeksangs are going to air on May 7th, I believe, and that's when we'll know who won Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Drama, and all of these great categories for dramas and film and variety series. So obviously I'm kind of more concerned with the K-dramas because I haven't watched all of the K-films that have been nominated. I feel bad even commenting on those, but it should be an interesting year because Moving and My Dearest are like the top two contenders, I would say. And then there's a lot of dramas and actors and actresses who were nominated, and I don't think people were like familiar with the work that they had done. So it just goes to show that the Korean audience is connecting with different things than the international audience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you watch a lot of stuff, not just K-dramas. You watch J-dramas, you watch Chinese dramas, you watch anime. You are like jack of all trades, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I branched into C-dramas. I feel this was like a while back, and they're just so fun. They're a lot different than K-dramas. So I always feel like if you like K-dramas and you're interested in branching out and seeing, the other type of stuff they have out there, C-dramas are always a great option as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And of course, as you guys know, on Taebak, we have covered a couple of J-dramas, a couple of C-dramas, well, more than a few C-dramas, because I also like watching different things every once in a while, not just K-dramas, even though that's my first love. But speaking of first love, we are going to talk about Because This Is My First Life on this episode. But before we do, if this is your first time listening, go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. And if you like us, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That goes such a long way for us to get discovered by other listeners just like you. And come check us out on social media to stay up to date on the latest episodes and reviews, all of my craziness and rantings and 7-minute videos about Chaonu. You can find us on Twitter, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at TebakPod. And lastly, if you're a fan, please consider becoming a patron. It's a great way for you to get involved and show your support for as little as $2 a month. The paywall is not that high. If you can check out the page on patreon.com/alwayscriticpod. And shout out to our patrons, Janet, Curtis, Bale, CD, Alana, Grace, Lorna, Sammy, Caitlin, Julia, Michelle, Tenmei, Aaron, Marta, Tofia, Camila, and Kayla. Love you guys so much. I love interacting with you guys and just producing content for you guys over on the Patreon feed. So with that being said, we're just going to go right into the non-spoiler section like usual. I will read the Viki synopsis. It is the Viki synopsis today because they had the better synopsis. The Asian wiki and my drama list synopsis were like real clunky, and I was like, I don't want to deal with that today. So here's the Viki synopsis. Who has time for love when finances are on the mind? Nam Se-hee is a socially awkward man in his early 30s who has spent his life savings purchasing his own house. While he can now be called the master of his own home, his finances are in a sorry state, and his job as an IT employee provides him with next to no disposable income after paying off his mortgage. Yoon Ji-oh, also in her early 30s actually, is a homeless writer. I feel like homeless has a different connotation.
That's such a strange way to put it.
I know. But like, she doesn't own a home.
It's not wrong.
Yeah, it's not wrong, but she's not homeless. Yeah. Houseless? House poor?
Yeah, houseless.
Houseless writer who barely makes enough to feed herself. Dating is the last thing on the mind for these financially strapped singles. Through a turn of events, Ji-ho comes to rent a place to stay in Se-hee's house, and they find themselves as landlord and tenant. How will these individuals grow in the unexpected circumstance of being thrust together? Is there room for romance in such impoverished situations? I also don't know if impoverished is the right word, but okay.
They live in a great house.
It's a beautiful condo.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Can they help each other work through their personal, familial, and financial issues? So, Because This Is My First Life aired from October to November 2017. It is the traditional 16 episodes long. It was directed by Park Joon-hwa. He's also directed things like Let's Eat 2, which I love those two shows, Bring It On Ghost, What's Wrong with Secretary Kim from 2018, which we covered on season 1 of the podcast, if you want to scroll back in your podcast feed and listen to that. Touch Your Heart in 2019, and he's also done, I'm looking around to make sure no one's going to come after me, Alchemy of Souls 2022, parts 1 and 2 of Alchemy of Souls. So, how do you feel about that? Does this make sense that this director also did Because This Is My First Life? Or are you kind of like, wow, that's strange?
I didn't realize that. That's interesting. I haven't seen a lot of them besides just like 2 on the list, so I feel like I need to watch Let's Eat now so I can truly see, because you said that's a really good one.
I really love Let's Eat. You're gonna like Let's Eat and Let's Eat 2. Let's Eat 3, okay. There's 3 of them. So Let's Eat 3 is fine. It's just not my favorite. They started like messing with it a little bit to keep the male lead the same, but they keep changing the female lead for each season, if that makes any sense. And like the reasons for like why it's a new love interest, it just gets a little crazy. So Let's Eat, I would highly recommend that. It is full of food porn. Like they're constantly eating. And I really appreciated that show. It like introduced me to a lot of Korean food. And obviously the story is really good as well. So Let's Eat 2. Those are my faves. And Alchemy of Souls. Obviously, we've covered all Alchemy of Souls on the podcast. We don't want to rehash it, but it's there if you want to go back and listen to those. I think it's part 1 and part 2. there's the 2-part episode because it was that much content to talk about. So, Because This Is My First Life was written by Yoon Nan Jun. She's a female screenwriter. She's also written Cool Guy's Hot Ramen from 2011, The Queen of Office from 2013, and Hogu's Love from 2015. That's it. Like, she hasn't written basically anything else. And while I was looking her up, I found that there was a little bit of a scandal with Because This Is My First Life. So I guess we'll pause here because we're already talking about the writer. But the scandal is a plagiarism scandal. And it didn't like make a bunch of rounds here in the States. It was just kind of like relegated to Koala's Playground, which is a less than reputable news site for Hallyu/K News. And then it was also like in a Reddit feed and people were commenting on it. But I was like, this is enough to, I think, chat real quick about it. So the scandal is she allegedly used the J-drama We Got Married as a Job as its source material and used that premise without credit. But this is the similarities between the show, as I'm to understand it, because I have not watched this J-drama before. The similarities are both share a contract marriage, both have a socially awkward male lead who works in IT, and both have a quirky heroine. But from the Reddit comments, people were like, I watched both shows. I cannot understand why they're screaming plagiarism. It's maybe she took inspiration. At the most, she took inspiration from that drama, if anything, which came out the year before Because This Is My First Life, I believe. I just want to put that out there just in case people didn't know. But do you have thoughts on this at all?
So here's the thing. Like, contract marriage dramas are like, in a sense, that the same thing happens in like most of them. So like, I feel like the only thing you can get from that is the jobs are the same.
Yeah.
And like their personalities are the same. But that could literally, there's hundreds of shows like that.
It literally
I'd have
made
to
no
watch
sense.
both.
I know. Yeah. The only way to know how you feel about it is to watch both. I'm not going to sit here and watch a J-drama just to see if the Because This Is My First Life was plagiarized. Who has the time for that? And make a whole PowerPoint presentation. This is why I feel. No.
Oh my goodness.
But I think it might be that this scandal, if it really did gain traction in Korea, that could have sunk her career because she really hasn't done anything after Because This Is My First Life. So I feel kind of bad, but I don't know. I just want to throw that out there. I don't think it has like there's a case really for it.
Did you know that since I just watched it yesterday, some of the stuff is still fresh in my mind, that Cool Guy's Hot Ramen thing was brought up in the drama. Like, the title was brought in the drama because they were talking about the stuff she's written when she's at the wedding, and she's like, I've wrote Cool Guy Hot Ramen, and then the girl's like, that's funny, I've never heard of that. So she put her
own drama.
Writing.
How do we put this? The female lead is also a drama writer.
Yeah.
And she says, I wrote this show. But the show was in reality written by the screenwriter of Because This Is My First Life. It's a little confusing, but I'm on the same page as you.
That's
just
wild.
to explain it for people. That is wild. I didn't even realize. I didn't remember Cool Guy's Hot Ramen being one of the...
Because it stuck with me, because I'm like, that's such a weird title. And then they're like, what is that about? And like, and then I just looked at that now and I'm like, oh, why is Jess listing, the shows that the girl
what
in
you
the
assume
show
is a
wrote.
Fictional show.
It's a real
show.
We have to watch that. Can we watch Cool Guy's Hot Ramen?
We have to. It's from 2011. I think it's fair game.
This could be.
I don't know where it is though. But what? Yeah, Cool Guy's Hot Ramen. Just to see
Next on the
First
list.
of all, Cool Guy's Hot Ramen. I'm thinking it's hot guys and hot ramen, but I don't know.
I want to look up.
You're gonna look at
the
oh
description. Wait, because
so
like
great.
I thought it was fake because it's such a weird name.
It is, but it's real.
Maybe it's a different name. Like sometimes they change the
Oh
names.
yeah.
Because I see Flower Boy Ramen Shop, but I'm not seeing.
No, that's
Cool
not
Guy's
it. Okay,
Hot
I
Ramen.
am clicking on it right now. It is Flower Boy Ramen Shop.
Wait,
That's the show.
description. Read the description.
I've watched this show.
Wait, you have?
Of course. This is, oh my God. So, Cool Guys Hot Ramen is the English title. The literal title is Flower Boy Ramen Shop, which I 100% have seen that show. Wow.
This
What is life?
Inception right here.
What is life? This is, for those who have never watched this, I feel like a lot of people might like it. But it stars Jung Il-woo, Lee Chung-ah, who Lee Chung-ah does a major like cameo at the end of our show, like because this is my first life, and Lee Kyu. If you look at these people, you'd be like, oh my God, I know who these actors are.
That's crazy.
I love it. Wow.
I feel like a detective.
Wow, I'm so glad we took a minute to like look that up because I would have never known that was Flower Boy Ramen Shop. So she wrote Flower Boy Ramen Shop, Queen of Office, and Hogu's Love. I can't believe that the people in the show, like because this is my first life, those bitches didn't recognize Cool Guys Hot Ramen because that is Flower Boy Ramen Shop. Put some respect on that name. All right.
Oh my goodness.
So moving on, the show stars Lee Min-ki as Nam Se-hee. He has been in about 17 movies. I have watched a couple of them. Spellbound from 2011. He stars in it with Sonia Jin. That's Sonia Jin from Crash Landing on You. She sees ghosts and he's like a magician. It's a really quirky rom-com. I think I'd recommend it. It's not like amazing, but it's standard. He was also in Monster from 2014 with Kim Go-eun. This was before Kim Go-eun was Kim Go-eun, like Goblin's Bride. You know what I'm saying? So she was really young in this, and he plays a killer. And the thing is, ever since I saw him in Monster from 2014, he's always had like a serial killer look to him because of him playing a killer in that movie.
Have you watched Behind Your Touch?
No, I haven't watched Behind. So that's also something that he starred in. He's been in about 14 TV shows, Behind Your Touch being one of them. What do you have to say about Behind Your Touch?
His acting, like, if it's crazy if you were to watch, like, because this is my first life, and then watch Behind Your Touch, because he's a completely different actor. He's funny, he's silly, he's like serious, but like it's something you normally don't see from him because I mean, I guess besides the Oh My Ghost thing, which I haven't seen, but I don't know. I just think of his character from Behind Your Touch every time, and I'm like, he's so fun. Like, he's just so silly.
Wow.
You have to. It's ridiculous though. It's a ridiculous show, and I have to.
What
tell
is
you that
Behind Your
in.
Touch about for those who don't know? Just a quick.
I'm gonna tell you, I was literally talking with friends who don't watch dramas, and I was trying to explain this drama when I was watching it ongoing, and they thought I was lying to them. I had to look it up and show them because they're like, Becky, there is no way that there is a K-drama out there where a girl can touch people's butts and see their like memories and things that recently happened. And thoughts. And I was like, no, it's true. They didn't believe you.
It's all true, I swear.
And I finished it.
You did?
I did.
I think it was getting a lot of traction because of the premise. And then I don't remember people sort of wrapping that up. But I'm glad you finished it. So he was in Behind Your Touch. That's last year, 2023.
Yeah.
He was in My Liberation Notes from 2022, which I absolutely love that show. I don't know if I could ever rewatch it, but I did love it the first time I watched it. I also talked about it. I did a guest spot on Swoon Diaries podcast with Naz, and we talked about My Liberation Notes in detail. So that was a fun, nice, chill episode if you want to go to her feed and check that out. He's been in The Lies Within, The Beauty Inside from 2018. I don't know if The Beauty Inside is any good. I've heard such mixed reviews. I love the movie that it's based on, but then I never watched the show, which seems rather different and totally different vibe than the movie. I
haven't seen that either, so I don't know.
Yeah. And then he's also been in Shut Up Flower Boy Band from 2012, which he has raging guyliner in that show.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I thought he had a bigger role, but it says here that it's just a vocals cameo. Maybe he was in it a couple episodes or something. Look, if you are looking for a really good music K-drama, you're into, I don't know, Dream High and other like K-pop adjacent shows, this is the show. I love Shut Up Flower Boy Band. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
It's
do
older,
love
though.
a
It's
good
2012.
music show.
Yeah.
How cringy is it on a scale of 1 to 10? Be honest.
I haven't rewatched it in a minute, so I can't say with my 2024 eyes and heart and mind if it's
That's so
cringing
true.
now. But when I watched it, I thought it was really intriguing because I learned a lot about the industry. I learned a lot about, you know, if one person is talented in a band, they might get signed versus everybody else. And sort of it's all about keeping the integrity, your like artist integrity, while you're going through this crazy process of trying to get famous, trying to have other people listen to your music. And I like it. Flower Boy, obviously meaning that the guys in the band are all hot. But it's good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it
I'll
a
have to
lot.
check it out.
Yeah.
I love a good music drama. So I just
Nice.
added that to my list.
Okay. It's older. It's 2012, so be kind to it. It's not as
will.
high production value as what you're used to seeing nowadays, but I thought that the plot and the characters is just very good. So that's him, our male lead. And then we also have Chung Soo-min, who plays Jin Gang, our screenwriter, I guess drama writer in the show. She's been in Playful Kiss from 2010. I always like to mention that because it is such a bad show. When I first watched it, I was like, this is crazy. I was getting the ick. I was getting cringe.
I
It was
dropped
so
it.
cringe. You dropped it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on like when you watch it. You might be more forgiving. I watched it maybe around 2012, 2013. And I was kind of like, this is crazy, but I just want to see it through.
You
Like,
finished it?
Oh, yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, Playful Kiss, Can We Get Married? My Father is Strange. The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, which I think that, according to the release schedule that I put together, the Smile Has Left Your Eyes episode should already be out. So if you want to scroll back in your podcast feed, this is so strange because it's not out while we're recording this, but it will be out after it's. Anyway, long story short, if you want to scroll back in your podcast feed, you can listen to me and Sarah from K-Drama This talk about The Smile Has Left Your Eyes. And then Jung So-min has also been in Alchemy of Souls from 2022. So part 1. So how do you feel about Jung So-min as an actress and stuff?
I think she's a great actress. I like her acting. I haven't seen a ton of the stuff she's in besides like just 2 or 3 of those on the list. But I do really like her as an actress. How about you?
I love her, and this is my favorite thing that she's been in, because This Is My First Life is my favorite thing that she's been in.
Agreed.
And every time I see her, I think of this role and this character, and it brings me a lot of warmth and joy. And I just love her acting. I don't know, she's like so real.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
Second to that, I think of Playful Kiss, but we're not
We
we're not
we
gonna
don't
go
think
there.
about that.
We don't think about that. But anyway, I would love to hear, for those listening, if you have thoughts on Chung So-min or Lee Min-ki as actors, what your favorite stuff that they've been in. That would be awesome to hear from you guys. But with that being said, there's loads of more cast members. It's a bit of an ensemble cast, but those are the main 2. We have Isom as Suji. She's one of the best friends. We have Kim Ga-eun as Horang, also one of the best friends. And then we have Park Byung-eun as Sang-gu, the CEO character of the app that Sei's character develops. And then we also have Kim Min-suk as Won-suk, the boyfriend / fiance of one of the BFFs. So, that being said, that's it. We've come to the end of the cast list. What do you think about Because This Is My First Life? And I believe you rewatched it in a epic binge session just yesterday. So it's a real fresh in your mind. Let me know your thoughts.
So I'm not a show rewatcher, and I was really struggling getting into rewatching this again. Like, I was having a whole like mental time. But once they got to the parts that like my brain kind of forgot what happened next, I was like, ooh, okay, I want to know what happens next for this. But the romance, it's like a slow burn, but at the same time, like, I don't know how to explain it. I love the fact that those two characters are just so comfortable with each other, and they don't even have to say a lot of words. You can see they just understand each other so well. I love the friendships in this. I love the relationships. I love how real it is, because this is the type of show that's not cookie cutter standard K-drama. It talks about like realistic relationship problems with all of the characters. There's so many different things it goes into, and I love how diverse it is with each character. And it like, normally for side characters, you know, they're just on the side. You're like, I don't really, sometimes you don't care about their storylines. But for all of these, I was pretty invested in all their storylines. I wanted to see what ended up happening with each of their relationships and just them in general, because I want to see them happy. But it's a good watch. I really enjoyed rewatching it. I just love the whole cast as a whole, and just like all the stuff that they do for the drama. It just is, I feel like if you haven't seen it, you have to at least see it one time, because it's one of those dramas.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I remember watching this drama, I think in 2017 or 2018, right around when it aired. And man, I love this show. I was like, why is no one talking about this show? I really thought it was progressive. I thought it was feminist. It covered consent. We had two like consenting adults like asking each other things like,
True.
Can we sleep together? Is it all right if I hug you? Different things like that. It's so like, it's consent done right, because it's sexy and it's like adding to their relationship and the drama between them and these growing feelings that they are experiencing. And again, it's very real. It's very grounded. And I love the ensemble cast. I love this friendship between the three girls. I was like, I think I was finding a lot of commonalities between them and my own friends group, which we've since kind of gone our separate ways and we live in different countries and stuff like that. But oh my God, I was like, I'm this character. My friend was this character and my other friend was this character, and their traits are so recognizable. And I think the show is just so comforting. As soon as I started rewatching it,
comforting.
It is so comforting. So I started rewatching it, and I've said this before, I'm not necessarily a drama rewatcher. So
Same.
It was a big deal for me to put this even on the docket because I had already seen it. And I was like, I don't know, I kind of feel like watching it again and covering it, because not a lot, I feel like it's underrated. People don't talk about because this is my first life. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it on. And as soon as I put it on, I was like, I took like such a deep sigh that I was like, oh my God, I missed it. Like I missed the show. I loved rewatching it. I was not skipping over parts like I usually do if I rewatch a show. I was incredibly invested in all of their stories all over again. It was like watching it anew. And the show is as much about being true to yourself as searching for a place of your own, a home, belongingness. These are big themes in the show, as much as the slow burn romance and answering questions like, what is marriage? And are marriage and love the same?
At first, I didn't think it was real. I woke up to this blinding light, and I was transported to another place. Pluto TV. Then I heard a voice.
Come with me if you want to live.
There were thousands of movies and shows, and they were all free.
The truth is our
It's just so beautiful.
On Pluto TV, free streaming of Terminator 2, Fringe, Arrow, The 100, and The X-Files may cause excitement, loss of sleep, and sudden belief in extraterrestrials. No credit cards or alien encounters necessary. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Bonjour, compadre. It's the
Priceline Negotiator.
How do I negotiate so many great travel deals? My greatest gadget. The Priceline app. It's got hotel deals, flight deals, rental car deals, all of those deals in a bundle. Deals, game day deals, concert trip deals. No one deals more deals than Priceline. Hold your horses, there's more. The app lets you filter hotels by neighborhood, vibe, star level, and amenities like pools and spas and beachfronts and... Wait, I'm not done. Stop cutting me off. Priceline!
Exactly. Yeah, and it really goes in depth with that because it even was bringing up questions I've never thought about before. Because it's like, yeah, you can date someone, but if your alignment on your marriage values and what you want to do in your future, that's not going to work out. And so it's interesting when people say they're dating just to date or they're dating for marriage, and they really go in depth with that.
Yeah, for sure. Also, big nods to other IP and sort of big, they're referencing 500 Days of Summer at one point, and I'm like, 500 Days of Summer is a very interesting movie in and of itself that deals with very different but cool concepts about love and projecting your feelings onto somebody else, and who's at fault for a relationship crashing and burning. Was it even a relationship to begin with when people have stated what they are expecting and what their standards are for this relationship? I'm not looking for anything serious. Okay, then why is this person catching feelings and thinking that it's more serious than it is when the other person clearly said? So it's very similar. It's a wonderful pull for them to invoke 500 Days of Summer. They invoke The Graduate very heavily in the show. And I don't know if people listening have watched The Graduate, but that's a very classic, I think 70s or 60s movie. I know it's not 60s. It's definitely, no, now I need to look it up. But anyway, they specifically are referencing the bus scene at the end of The Graduate, which multiple times they're doing that in the show of them sitting in the back of the bus, very similar to the staging in The Graduate, which The Graduate came out in 1967, so I stand corrected. 60s. But I think it's interesting to look at, she references kind of how she felt about the movie when she was younger and didn't understand the movie. And then she rewatches it later in life and she's like, there's something here that I didn't read before in the bus scene. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I love that she's kind of reevaluating the romanticized portions of her life in the media that she consumes. And that's growth, right? That's people just growing up and maturing and realizing, I totally had a misreading of The Graduate when I was younger and thought it was romantic for Dustin Hoffman's character to break up this girl's wedding. And then afterward, they're sitting on the bus and they're like, what now? And there's this emptiness between them, not love.
Yeah.
So it's very probing. I think the whole show is extremely probing. I loved all of the voiceovers. Sometimes I get sick of voiceovers in K-drama where I'm like, oh my God, they're just talking just to talk. But these voiceovers are incredibly important because they're musing about life and the situation and what you just watched. And you're like, it's putting it into perspective for the audience. And it feels extremely authentic for someone to have these conversations with themselves.
Especially because, her job is dramas and film. And so it looping back to that, you're like, wow, this is really going in details about specific, her interests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's really neat that they do that. And I think they do a great job at doing that.
So the last time we talked about sexual harassment in the workplace was on the Something in the Rain episode with Caitlin. That was the first time she ever came on the show, and it was a lot of fun. You can scroll back in your podcast feed to hear that episode. But the sexual harassment in Because This Is My First Life is really incredible, and I found it such a compelling part of one of the BFFs, Suji, her story. Did you have thoughts about that as well, or were you kind of like, oh my God, it's so uncomfortable, I don't know?
I did, actually. So I think in a lot of dramas, they don't, I mean, it depends. Some go deep into topics that normally aren't really discussed, and then some do a very good job, discussing these serious topics that a lot of people don't talk about. And I think they did a very good job, like talking, like not necessarily talking about, but showing the sexual harassment in the workplace, but also like showing that it can happen to like, because like, is this a spoiler if I say what happens?
I don't know.
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, we'll leave it for spoilers. But I guess
okay.
I understand what you're saying. That they gave it, I think, a lot of space, and it was obviously very uncomfortable to watch. But I think on second watch, maybe I'm more desensitized, but I was like, this is definitely sexual harassment. But I think I was kind of muddled on the stakes for her character for a lot of it. And the first time I watched the show was like boiling inside because I was so mad at what was transpiring at work. And because she's obviously, nobody deserves to be sexually harassed in the workplace, but it seems so commonplace in Korea.
And they make it so it's not like, obviously everyone's like not pointing and being like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. It's just a normal thing. And then that makes you think like, this is something that's common. This is a common thing that they're touching on, that they're showing in this show. And it's sad.
It's tough.
It's so sad.
It's tough.
Especially when, this no, not a spoiler, but when she has like a breakdown when she's walking. Oh my gosh. So hard.
It's really hard. So that character, I found her so compelling, not just the female lead, but her best friends and Suji in particular, who is like the tall, elegant, take no shit from anybody type of character. And she's the one who's experiencing the sexual harassment in the workplace because she's a really successful professional. And then the other friend who has this 7-year relationship that I had a lot of thoughts this time around. I almost want to leave it for the spoiler section, but like...
No, me too.
Okay, good. I had... maybe because I watched this so many years ago, 4 + 7 years ago. I was in my 20s at the time, and like I just have a very different perspective. I was upset, definitely, at their story the first time I watched it. It was highly upsetting, but... this time around, I was like, I had so much less tolerance for it. I don't know about you.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
No, I was the exact same. We'll talk about it in the spoilers because I wrote like a whole thing of notes about their specific arc because there's so much we have to break down with them.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is I really appreciated how the show sort of delved into how even couples who live together needs time apart and their own space to unwind, be themselves, and have kind of like secrets. You can keep some parts of yourself to yourself. You don't have to share every single thing with your partner. And they referred to this by I think it was a book that the female lead had called like in room 19 or something.
Yeah, room 19, yeah.
But the room 19 kind of just represents this space that is uniquely yours. You're not sharing it with somebody else. And you can do whatever the hell you want in this room 19. And it turns into a metaphorical, like everybody has a room 19 in their own lives, topics that you don't want to talk about that are sensitive. And it could be just your own history, or it could just be a hobby. Like I need time to myself I think the term we would use now is self-care.
Yeah.
But back when I watched this, I didn't have like a self-care. Self-care wasn't in the vocab in 2017, 2018. So I like watching it now and coming back to it and thinking like the same thing that I thought then, but like with a little more vocab, I guess, to back it up and be like, absolutely, like mental health is so important, and the way that people process information and need to, if you want the best, parts of them, that's fine, but sometimes people need space.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So I thought that was really romantic and just so necessary to talk about. This is the last thing I'll say, is the patriarchy is so front and center in this show.
Oh my gosh, I forgot how bad it was.
Me too.
Like, and the first episode is just like, they get right into it. The first 5 minutes, it's like, yeah, I couldn't even blow up my own birthday candles. I'm like,
what the
why
hell?
did I not remember this? Like, it's insane how
Yes.
detailed they go into it, and it just keeps getting brought up, but it's just like in the background, but it's always there.
Yeah.
And it's also like a key component as to why she is the way that she is, and she thinks her life has to go a certain way.
Yeah. And same for him, because his family's also super patriarchal, and how he bucks that is it's a direct result of things that happen in his life, which we get into later in the show. We find out later why he feels certain ways and why he has so much respect for the female lead in the show. It's basically a trauma response, but the patriarchy and the like misogynistic undertones of a lot of stuff, and like the highly gendered functions of the household, where like the women should quit their jobs to be a homemaker.
Crazy. That's so crazy.
And they're like questioning why the male lead would make kimchi. Why should it's okay, like the women folk will do that. We sit here and drink all day, and then they cook for us later in the evening. That's your function. And he's like, no, I'm going to make the kimchi. Like, all of this is very not subtle in the show, I would say. And I picked up on it way more now. It might be just like where I am in my life that I'm like, this is so not okay. And I love that the writer and the director and obviously the cast were so on board with tackling these really big issues. I always feel like K-dramas are sometimes more progressive than Korean cinema, because Korean cinema is still a boys' club, I would say. Like, there's certainly, obviously you have female actresses and you have some screenwriters, but like, are there really famous female directors that you can look back on? Are there really feminist Korean cinema movies that you can really say like, this was tackling so many issues in such a nuanced way? I feel like K-dramas, because they're written by women, sometimes even directed by women, the audience is for women, right? Like, I don't feel like K-dramas have necessarily been created for men, the male audience. You have these explorations of topics, social issues in Korea that is amazing to see on screen. And it's exported, and then we're getting it secondhand, right? Like, we certainly live in a patriarchal society, but it's not what they have. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy to see it, and it's crazy to see how some K-dramas are really ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and they, like I said, they portray it so well too. So it's like you get a better understanding of kind of what a day in the life is like with just watching that. And the sexism is so bad.
Rampant. It's bad.
Blood boiling, some of these scenes. Because I'm just like, that's awful.
It's awful. So we both adore this show, apparently. And I'm so glad. Yeah. Even if you didn't, I was gonna sing its praise. I would be like, this is so good, it's so underrated. But I'm so glad that you also loved it, Becky. And it was a nice rewatch for you, even if you kind of were kind of hoping for the ramp up a little quicker for the couple. But it's certainly a slow burn. But I almost feel like from the get-go, you're like, there's something here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I specifically, right when you said that, I thought about the hand-holding scene. And
Stop.
That scene is like,
I'm turning
engraved in my memory. Because are you kidding me? Whoever wrote that scene, yes, they get it. They understand what the girlies want.
Yes, the female gaze. All right. So without further ado, I think we're going to get into the spoiler section. But before we do, what would you give the show out of 5 soju bottles?
Okay, so after rewatching it, I feel like when I first watched it, I was like 5 out of 5, absolutely. But now I feel,
Ooh.
since I have specific feelings about some of the characters, maybe like a 4.5 out of 5, maybe a 4 out of 5. Because rewatching it definitely made me realize like some of the characters that I first really was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, hold on a minute, that's a bit. So yeah, let's do 4.5 out of 5.
Oh my
Let's do
God, but
that.
that's super high. Super high. 4.5 soju bottles out of 5 is still really high to me.
I did like it.
I
liked
love it.
It's a
I
good
would do
one.
the same score, maybe even push it to a 5 because the rewatch was so pleasant to me. It was so comforting. This is a comfort drama for me. And everyone's comfort dramas are going to be different. Everyone has slightly different criteria for comfort dramas. But for me, like, I didn't realize it was a comfort drama until I pressed play on episode 1 again. And I was like, oh my God, I just feel like I'm home.
Aw.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Even the highly upsetting parts, I'm like, it's all right.
Like Gray's past it.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
the main couple. It's fine.
It's so good. So same score, maybe even higher for me. So we're going to get into the spoiler section right after this. If you do not care to be spoiled, then keep listening. If you want to go and watch this show, even after some of the slightly spoilery things we've said, please do and come back later and finish this episode. Finishing out with us. All right. See you on the other side.
No one goes to Hank's for spreadsheets. They go for a darn good pizza. Lately, though, the shop's been quiet, so Hank decides to bring back the $1 slice. He asks Copilot in Microsoft Excel to look at his sales and costs and help him see if he can afford it. Copilot shows Hank where the money's going and which little extras make the dollar slice work. Now Hank has a line out the door. Hank makes the pizza, Copilot handles the spreadsheets. Learn more at m365copilot.com/work.
Hey, you want to come in?
All right, we are on the other side of spoilers. Anything goes. We're going to spoil the show, just so you know. All right. Where do you want to start first, Becky? Because you mentioned a little bit of episode 1 where she says she never blew out a birthday candle and she's been living under the patriarchy. And her dad is this machismo who would declare, like, let's eat, and plunge his fork into her birthday cake and eat a giant chunk of it straight from there like an animal. And no one is saying shit to him. No one's stopping him saying, like, let her make a wish first, or let's slice the cake like human beings. It's all on his timing. And she didn't get to do a birthday wish or eat her cake first or anything until she turned 20. 20 years old. And that was jarring.
And if you think about that, like how she's been living as like the daughter, like how do you think the wife's been living? Like it's crazy to think about. And then especially like in the first episode, it talks about how she's the one who put the down payment on the house. But she doesn't get it because she's a woman.
Look.
And the men had to sign for the don't.
It's giving I
getting
can't
upset
vote. I can't like take out a credit card in my own name. I can't
awful.
own my own home. It's giving like the women's movement never happened. It's very frustrating to watch the first couple of episodes and see her like struggling against the patriarchy and trying to carve out her own life and pursue her own dreams. And you're like, girl, you are stuck. Like, it's bad.
And even like there's like this specific scene where she tells the brother's fiance or wife. I think they're married at that point.
Was it his fiance in episode 1?
I think
maybe. It was the fiance.
Yeah.
And they were gonna get married.
She's like, you can still stay in the house, it's okay. And she lays it down for her. She's like, you are pregnant. You are not going to do any cleaning. Who's the one that's going to do the cleaning? Like, your husband's or fiance's at work all day. I'm going to be stuck with all your chores. I'm going to be stuck with taking care of the kid. I'm going to not be living for myself. I'm going to be living in this house, like, for you guys. And that's just not how she wants to live. And I really appreciate how respectful she was with that, because even telling her that, she's like, you're young, you don't understand. I wish you guys the best. And like, here's some money, buy yourself like some good meat. And I love how like I said, respectful she was with that, because she could have been like,
I would have roasted her on the spot.
like, yeah, she could have been like, I put the down payment on this house, but because of my gender, you guys get this house and you guys get to, like, I have to struggle and not have a place to live. And then it feels so bad to watch everything tumble apart, because like at first, you know, she really likes her job and you can see she's very happy, and then everything just kind of gets ripped away from her, and it is so sad.
It's unfair. It's so unfair.
It's
Yeah,
so
you mentioned her
unfair.
job. She was the assistant drama writer for 5 years, she said.
Yeah.
And she's now 30 years old. So she's dedicated half of her 20s to this job. And she's been writing under this bitch. Like, this lady is the head writer. A menace to society. She was
changing her stuff.
Yes.
It's so rude.
Well, she worked as an assistant writer for 5 years, and she was mostly putting product placement into the episodes and writing subplots. That's what she said. She could write a subplot at this point. And they cut to some of the dramas. Like, I think it was one drama that she was working on, and you have a cameo from the lead on Let's Eat. I think his name is Yoon Do-jun. He's from the K-pop group Highlight/Beast. Do you know?
Okay. I don't
It's
think
okay.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh
but
my
it's
God,
okay.
I love him. So he's in Let's Eat. He gets a giant cameo in this episode because they're playing out the scenario that she's writing. And you cut to the head writer boss lady, and she just has no idea who the female lead is. She doesn't care to learn about her. She's like, she says, "Oh, you live on the west side of town, right?" No, she lives on the east side of town. She's been working and living in this studio/house thing where the head writer lives for a month. No, that's wrong. She's really been there for 3 months.
3 months. That's right. But the lady thinks it's only been a month. Like, how?
She gets everything wrong. She's like, "Oh, don't you live with your older sister?" And she's like, "No, I live with my younger brother." She could not be more wrong about it. She does not care about her at all.
She doesn't, and it hurts
It
later
hurts,
on.
yes.
Because she makes it seem like she cares when things go wrong for her, when the girl finally starts sticking up for herself and being like, "No, I'm not gonna," and then she is like, "I'm here for you. Let's go get coffee."
You think she's
and
an ally. You think she's actually bonding with her
brings
finally.
her to the person that hurt her the most. Like, what a terrible woman.
We're going to circle back on this woman and the inciting incident that makes her quit being a writer. But
Yeah.
the younger brother in the apartment is just the apartment is in disarray. Like, it's super disgusting.
It's
And
always messy.
despite saying over the phone to her friend, she was like, "I'm going to go and take a hot shower and get in my bed and sleep in my bed. I can't wait to relax finally," because she's been living out of a suitcase for 3 months trying to do all of this last minute shit on the script that they were working on. And she walks in, it's a pigsty, and she begins to clean up the apartment. She cleans up his mess. Like, he doesn't give a shit about her. He's never cleaned anything in his life.
He's just entitled because the father is just basically told him, like, "You are the guy, you're gonna be in charge of this, you're gonna," and so he has this entitlement that he thinks he doesn't need to do anything.
Contribute.
It's awful.
Because she wasn't there for 3 months. You think he was mopping the floors and cleaning his dishes and making sure the apartment was... No. He was like, "Oh, she'll deal with this when she gets back." I was like so offended by the brother. I was like, he doesn't give a shit about her at all.
So rude. Yeah.
And if it was a
then,
partner, I would have been like, leave him. Leave him immediately.
her just walking in on them being romantic
Yeah,
too. Like, I mean, I get, like, she's like, I don't want to live there anymore, obviously, because she has that, like, print of her brother and his girl doing things. That's
Mid-coitus. I
gross.
can't believe it. So she walks in on them having sex, and she's completely freaked out. She runs out of the apartment with her slippers on, her house slippers on. And he catches up to her. The brother catches up to her, and he's like, "You need to come back inside and, like, say your greetings to the naked girl because she's his wife of 4 months."
Yeah.
And I was like, hold the phone right now. She's
Such a
been
mess.
gone for 3 months. So that means he married her while she was still in the house, like living in the house with him For a month they were married. Then he was like, oh, perfect. She's on an assignment for 3 months. Come live with me in the house.
Yeah. And then we can just take the house.
We could just take the house.
My name. And father will approve. So awful.
It
Literally
was awful.
So awful.
Her dad treats the daughter-in-law better than his own daughter. Like this, and then the sister-in-law. That's
because she kisses up to him.
She is kissing his
She
ass.
kisses up to him.
Ass kisser. So I hate it.
So annoying.
It's so annoying to like see her be like, oh, and push like the plate of fish closer to him on the table, like, oh.
Like yeah, ridiculous.
Trying to ingratiate herself, but then why? Like you said, she has the female lead, Chung So-min, has to move out of the house because it's in her brother's name. The dad did that, and in Korea, that's commonplace. Even though she paid the deposit and all the expenses, he's been mooching off of her because he's still a student. I was like ready to set the house on fire. I was like, oh, nobody's going to get the house now because it was
so
bad.
Aggravating. So aggravating.
Bad.
And then not to mention like how you were saying how he treats the daughter-in-law to how he treats his own daughter, like in the same situation, except she's not pregnant, right? She's going to be getting married.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry she lacks so much. I'm sorry she's not adequate to be a daughter-in-law. Saying that to
her in-laws,
to her husband's family. What a terrible
This is
father.
later on in the show. Like for those who are
Sorry,
listening,
I got angry.
No, it's fine. But this is a little later when they are finally, the families have met, and I think it's their wedding day is what you're referring to.
We skipped a bit.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's just terrible.
It is terrible because the dad. Oh my god. Anyway, so everyone forgets her birthday, so there's a 16 candles scenario in here as well because all this is going on. It's her birthday.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Everyone forgets that it's her birthday. And only her mom remembers and serves her seaweed soup late at night and is on her side. Like she gives her some deposit money because she's a housewife, but because she's a housewife with no concept of like what things cost, she saved up like too little. So it's not nearly enough to get her another place. I have so many, like, I just, like, the first episode is so good because things are moving really fast. But it is, again, like, the patriarchy is just beating her down.
It is. And it's hard to watch. It really is. You're just like, when do things get better? Like, I feel so bad for her. And then it only just gets worse.
Oh, man. But then she meets the male lead, I think, at the end of the episode.
Yes.
Is that right? She meets him.
She meets him, and
no,
they meet at the party.
Yes.
Because he's there for another thing. So I love that they made us so painfully aware of how socially awkward he is, because from the get-go, people like they're having a sensitive, private conversation where like you think this man's gonna confess, and then he's like, "Hello, please move." And they're like, what? And then she sees him watching sports, and then they have something in common, and so they end up watching sports together. I think it's really cute how he like opens up to her. And then from there, she's thinking, this guy, we have something in common. He seems nice. And then that's why the bus stop scene happens, because she just feels kind of deflated after seeing, the person that she has a crush on with someone else, and she's like, I'll never find love. And then she's like, hey, there's the bus stop guy, and then he says some things that comfort her. She's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna give him a kiss. Why not? I'm never gonna kiss someone in my life, so might as well just kiss a stranger.
Right. So lots of things happening here because she has a crush on the director of the drama that they just wrapped on, and it's a young, hot director.
And he flirts with her.
And he's flirting with her. He's definitely leading her on. And so there's this moment in this restaurant or parlor or whatever where they're by the bathrooms, and you think that this director dude is going to confess to her. But that's when the male lead comes in and he's like, excuse me, can you move? And interrupts their flow. So then later on, she's outside just kind of catching her breath, and the male lead is outside watching soccer, I think an Arsenal game, on his phone because they're fans of Arsenal, both of them. And she's watching over his shoulder. They have like this good moment of rapport, they're establishing rapport. And then she looks over just as she's talking about this crush that she has on this guy,
Yeah.
and sees the young director dude walking around outside and canoodling with another woman. And the other woman is not just anybody, it's the female lead from the show that they've just wrapped.
It's crazy.
So it's not like it was some other woman. It was like the female lead of the show that they had just wrapped.
That like hits her.
It hurts.
That hits her.
It hurts so hard because he's been flirting and leading her on for years, it seems like. So she's feeling extremely deflated, like you said, and they meet up her and the male lead, Eamon Keep, meet up at the bus stop later. And he basically kind of comforts her. And I have this whole thing that it's like this whole monologue about the neocortex. Do you remember him talking to her about that? And later on, she refers to him as like, oh, like the neocortex guy. So he talks about cats don't have a neocortex, even though they eat the same food every day, are in the same house every day, living each day to the same. They don't feel depressed or bored. To them, time is only the current moment. Because I'm 30, and because I'll be 40 soon, like the only species that confines itself to partitions of time like that is the human race, human species. Only humans attack age as a weakness and spend money on it, and it causes them to spend emotions. It's the price we pay for having an evolved neocortex. So he's basically kind of giving her some perspective, and it's comforting her in a weird way. Because he's
peculiar way.
You could tell he's like super robotic.
Yeah.
And very socially awkward. But before she gets on the bus, she just goes for it and like kisses this dude.
So silly.
It's so silly. But I remember watching it and being like, oh my God, I forgot this happened.
And she asks him because I think he's going to get a taxi. Like, she asked him to go on the bus. Like, she's like, can you take the bus or something? So then they're sitting there and they're being awkward. And then she kisses him and gets on the bus. He's just still standing there, not getting
stunned.
on the bus.
It's not a bad kiss either. Like, I remember being
it's
like,
not.
That's it. She went in. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not tongue or anything, but I'm just like, no, that wasn't
It's her first kiss.
I know, because the other thing we haven't touched on is that she hasn't had any experience dating. She has never been kissed. So this is like, she's almost like, I'm getting old. I need to like do something about this because I'm so frustrated. I can't read the room even. I'm still in this realm of getting crushed by a crush.
And it's like, she probably is like, I'm so old. Like, why am I feeling these feelings right now? I haven't even experienced love and I'm feeling heartbreak, like, and so it goes into that a lot. And it doesn't really touch on the fact that she's like lonely, but it's there. Like, you see it in some of the scenes that like, it's kind of hidden in the scenes.
For sure. In episode 2, I hated this too because she gets with the director again, the sleazeball director, because he's like, oh, I want you to write this new drama. And it'll be her first head writing gig. And when they go into that meeting with the director and the PD, the head writer bitch comes in the room too. And like,
It changes everything.
It changes everything because it means they've been going behind her back to hire the head writer to co-write this show with her. And
it's not her work.
It's
like, it's
not.
her trying to, like, first of all, take someone else's work and change it and warp it around, but also put it on a label as it's hers. Like, she came up with the idea. She came up with the concepts. And that is so rude and disrespectful
it's so
to any writer.
It's so unethical. Yeah, disrespectful and awful, and just it's such a snake-like behavior. So when she comes in the room, like, the air gets sucked out of the room. Like, I remember gasping. Okay, the gasp that I gasped when that bitch walked in the room. I was like, oh my God, no, they didn't. She just gets blindsided. Right? Like, Joan Simmons' character is completely blindsided. Then the bitch says, oh, I have all these notes and changes, and she's just completely overridden her story, her setup.
And she like speaks up for herself in the room, which I really loved that she finally did that, because you have to imagine how many years this has been happening where she didn't speak up for herself because of how she was raised.
Yeah.
And she speaks up for herself. It's good. And then like I feel this is where I get so sad, because she finally speaks up for herself. Is like, no, I don't like that. That's not my writing. That's not what I wrote. And gets blindsided once again, because it's no one's on her team. Like no one is on her team, and they pretend they're on her team. And then when something happens where they need her to be on the team, or they need her, they pretend, and it's so hurtful. And it's I hated them. I'm so glad she made the decision to I mean, we're talking about spoilers.
No, it's all spoiler territory. Yeah,
she left the company.
She leaves the production. Yeah, she offends the head writer in this meeting. The young director wants her to apologize, the sleazeball director. And he eventually, like that night, I believe, he shows up drunk to the little closet room he hooked her up with and tries to sexually assault her. That is the inciting incident that makes her completely wash her hands of the production, wash her hands of writing entirely. She's like, I'm quitting writing.
Yeah.
And in that moment, after she like shoves it, because he's drunk, so she manages to shove him off of her. And she says the worst thing about him is not that he let her on for 3 years while he had a girlfriend. And it's not that he messed with her work, but that this is the only place she has to sleep. And he came in and kicked her out. Like, he ruined it. She just wanted to sleep because she had this crazy meeting earlier where she basically quits her own project, her first head writing project. And like, he comes in, like, fucks it up. Like, he literally could not have, she's chosen the worst time to do it.
Yeah. And then before that, I mean, doesn't the guys, because they're roommates, well, we skipped over this whole thing. We skipped over a lot.
There was like a miscommunication thing where Lee Min-ki's character is looking for a roommate, obviously a male roommate, and then she's also looking for a place to live because now she got kicked out of that apartment. Her brother and his wife are taking over that. It's so frustrating. That apartment. So she's looking for a place to live. And her friend says, "Oh, this place that's looking for a roommate. This landlord is looking for a tenant." And obviously, she thinks it's a female landlord.
And they have different schedules, so it's crazy because they go days without seeing each other. But like, he has strict rules, and you even see like when he first has a meeting with his old roommate, he's like, you have to make sure you feed the cat, you have to make sure you do the recyclables, you have to make sure you do this. And like, guy roommates, right, normally they're really sloppy and they aren't going to follow your rules. And so like, he has like a specific set. He even has like not a graph, what is it? Yeah, I think it is a graph. It's a whole thing. It's a graph of like rating his roommates. Yeah. And she gets the highest score, even though he hasn't met her. And then he realizes that it is the girl that kissed him at the bus stop, and things get a little more complicated. Mm-hmm. But they discuss how, like, she's like, I don't like you like that. This isn't love. And then he's like, oh, wait, this works great. Like, okay, yeah. Why not? And then his mother, I have to tell you, the family really messed them up. Every time his or her family came on screen, I was like, please just leave these poor babies alone. They don't need you. They just want to live peacefully. That's all they want. There's not even like an underlining meaning. Like, that's what it is. And the mother is like, how can you have her live here if she's just going to be your roommate? And that's when she ends up like feeling awkward and being like, I can't be here. But they were just about to make an agreement
to like live together, even though she's a girl and he's a guy.
It took so long for him to be like,
episodes 1 and 2. We're not even that deep in the show. It's like 1 and 2. Oh my god, the mom jumps by the show. That's when the mom says, "Oh, your dad will divorce me if you don't get married."
If you don't get married. Insanity.
Insanity.
I just don't get it. I don't think I ever will get it. But I mean, it's crazy because there are parts in different countries where that's a thing.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
I know.
And that's
so that it's like one thing after a hit after hit. And then I love the conversation they have after the mom leaves, because she's like trying to soften the blow. Yeah. Because she was hiding during this whole conversation in the room. Do you remember this? She was like hiding. She was like,
she heard it all.
Yeah. So she heard it. And she
silly.
says to him, all parents want what's best for their children, which is a nice diplomatic answer to his situation. And he says, they are all alike in their selfishness, wanting to fulfill their own desires through their children.
And that's true.
What an astute observation. Like,
that's
like,
so true.
I don't give a shit. Like, they're doing this for them, not for me. I have nothing to do with it. It's all about their reputation, how they look in front of their friends and colleagues, how I can elevate them and the family name, and just nothing to do with his happiness and what he wants out of life and them respecting his choices. And he just blasts through this really diplomatic answer that she gave. I was like, well, you know, parents want what's best for you. He's like, fuck that. No.
Like, no.
But
she still feels like she has to leave. And then that's why she gets in that situation with the director, which, don't even get me started on that. Because can we just talk about the fact that, like, first of all, right, this man that flirted with her for 3 years, that she had a crush on, that she respected. Yeah. Okay. She found out he has a thing. And then
she still worked with him after that.
She still is like, okay, like I still trust him though, and I believe him to be a good friend. And then he's like, oh, I have a spot you can sleep since you don't have anywhere to go. And then he shows up drunk and is like, why'd you ruin everything? And why are you? And then he tries to take advantage of her.
Yes.
This is like so heartbreaking, because you have to think like this is probably her only like guy friend that she's had for years and years, that she's trusted and that she's looked up to, and he just does that to her, makes her not want to write again, and makes her quit production. Like it's so, and the way they portray it too, like with what you said, her whole thing about like, I just wanted a place to sleep, her walking back on the highway in pajamas and breaking down, it crushes your soul. It does. Because this is something that, like, I mean, like I said, I think they touch on this topic really well, because this is, like, sadly can be a common thing just in the workplace and just, like, daily life. And it's so hard to even think about how much, you know, they go through and what they have to deal with, and, like, in their minds, like psychologically, like, is it because I stood up for myself that this person is now thinking that they can, you know, and
that they can treat me like this.
Hard. Yeah. It's so hard. And I mean, they do that also with the side characters, like with the main girl. But the thing I love what they do with her friend, the one that's very like strong-willed and like very amazing and very good at her job, but she still is getting harassed at work constantly. I love when she finally finds someone like that has like they both care for each other and like each other, and he's like, you should try telling them your feelings and that this is not a good thing to do. And she's like, okay, yeah. And she tries it, and she realizes it's not going to work. And then
so this is one of the last 3 episodes or something of the show, good. When Suji, the best friend, has this relationship with the CEO. He's adorable, by the way. Like, I love them together.
He's so cute.
They're so cute. Them together.
Oh, I love
them. I really love the second couple, basically. There's 3 couples in the show, but that's one of the couples. And yeah, he tells her, like, basically to stop holding in her feelings and, you know, kind of serve it back to them in a very, like, talk it out, basically. Man up and talk it out with these guys instead of just giving them the easy way out and diffusing the situation by not saying anything.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay. It gives her strength, because he's like, I think you can do this. Like, you can stand up for yourself. So she does it. She tells the guy one-on-one, like, I need you to apologize for all your batshit sexual harassment behavior. You've made my life here a living hell for the past 3 years. We've worked together. She calculated how many hours they'd worked together and stuff. And he goes, okay, yeah, I'll apologize. That was what you wanted. I want an apology from you. A public apology. He works it into this toast that they were doing at a restaurant, because they have a work dinner. And he's completely not apologized. Like, he was like, yeah, and I'm sorry for whatever and whatever. He didn't, no specifics, no sincerity. He's just trying to save face.
Yeah.
And do the bare fucking minimum to appease her. And she gets so mad. She blows a gasket. And I love the female rage. This is an accurate portrayal of female rage.
It is.
It is.
No, and it's a great observation of it, honestly.
God, the female rage that comes from her, because she's so, it's like the clarity that comes in that moment to her, and the like the wickedness that rages through her. I was like, yeah, this is so accurate, because it was the accuracy. Like, she was seeing red, but it wasn't chaos. It was order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. She was like, you know what? I'm done doing it the way that I thought would work, and I'm going to do it my way now. Mm-hmm. And this is how it's going to go.
So she basically becomes a predator in that moment, because she stalks him back to the office. Because he was like, we're going to go for a second round, whatever, but I've got to do something at the office. So he goes back to the office by himself. And she follows him. Like, she stalks him, follows him. He has no idea, by the way. He has no clue that she's there.
He's drunk.
He's drunk. He's kind of buzzed or whatever. And he just has no clue. So she's following him back to the office. And she stands behind him at the elevator. And he suddenly realizes that she's there. And he's like, oh, whatever. He gets in the elevator. And I just love the moment where it's so calm.
It is.
She unbuttons her coat as the elevator doors open, and the punch that she gives him is so, like, she came from way behind, you know what I'm saying? Like, she used her whole body to fucking pound him in the face. Yep. And he falls into the elevator. She knocks him clean out.
And if you think about it, like, I don't know if I guess they're insinuating there are no cameras in the elevator.
I don't know.
So it literally looks like she just puts her hand up, and then no one will know. No, like, how will they know? No one will know if there's no elevator camera.
I don't know.
He just has a black, I think she says she punches him in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, the stuff he has said, like, first of all, regarding her, like, chest size, or when they're at the office at night, he's like, you know what they say when single women are at the office with a married man. Like, literally, thank you for punching him in the mouth. I've been waiting for that for so many episodes.
Oh, my
gosh. It was so satisfying.
What a douche.
For real.
Oh, my God. So, so satisfying, but it's such a perfect portrayal of female rage, I thought. And
absolutely.
It was so warranted. Like, it was beyond warranted at that point, because she was like, you can't. I think she was on the phone with her boyfriend while she was stalking the guy back to the office.
Yeah, she is.
I tried talking to him, and there's just no reasoning with people. He's an animal, blah, blah, blah. And the boyfriend's like, what are you saying?
He's like having game night with his, like, coworkers, and he's like, do I need to, what's happening? What's happening? She's like, I love you. Goodbye. And
she
like,
hangs up by saying, like, I love you, and then clicks, she hangs up, and he's like, oh my God.
Is that her last will and testament?
I gotta go.
Like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's so fantastic.
I love this couple so much, though, because, like, I love how they, like, feed off of each other.
Oh my God,
like,
yes.
And not necessarily when they even, like, see it, because, like, when she first goes to talk to the guy, she's like, let's have a cigarette or something, and then she, like, stamps out the cigarette in his drink as, like, just, like, you know, but then later, like, her boyfriend is like, let's have a cigarette. And it's like the same mindset. And then he's like, oh, like, why aren't you smoking? I quit smoking. And just, like, staring at him. And then she rides up in her motorcycle. He's like, you know, like, that's right.
Yeah.
Like, it's so silly.
They are so silly. I love them together. There's 2 contracts in the show. So one is the marriage contract / tenant landlord contract from the male lead and female lead. And then there's also a dating contract between those two. Like, Suji and the CEO also have a dating contract. And he was shocked, because the conditions are, like, for them, it was, you can't ask anything personal about me. We cannot meet in each other's homes. We are always going to meet in a hotel. And I think the third one was if we meet once, we have to have sex twice.
It was like a physical one.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'm down for that. And he immediately signed it.
He's so conflicted about signing the contract with her because he's like, I actually want to get to know her. And like, what do you mean I can't ask questions? What do you mean you have to meet in a hotel room? But then he's like, sees the third condition. He's like, but like, that's a good deal right there.
Like, I could do it.
Yeah.
But then later, she like, because she's struggling with like, if she wants to be in a relationship and what a relationship entails for her. So she's like, you have to like leave your company if you like really truly. And he's like, I don't think I can do it, but I care about you so much.
She got super spooked though.
Yeah.
So she said this out of like, she didn't think much of the consequences of saying this. She was just scared that because she had just gotten slut-shamed. There's this whole thing, right, where she got slut-shamed at work.
Yeah,
by the female employees, her female colleagues who were in the bathroom talking shit about her because she doesn't like wearing bras. She hates wearing bras.
She's not doing it like at the office. She like when she's out of the office, but then she's always running back and forth. So like,
yeah, her job is like in and out of the office, and sometimes she comes back to the office, no bra, goes straight to the bathroom, puts on a bra, and then goes about her day in the office.
Exactly.
And that. People, the males, of course, notice that she doesn't wear a bra sometimes. Very few times, but it's enough to like cause rumors, cause a stir. The female employees are slut-shaming her because, oh, she's a floozy. She doesn't like, I didn't know she was like that. She didn't like wearing a bra and all this stuff. And meeting with male clients and did you know what happened at this dinner and whatever else. And it's like they link her with him, with the CEO character, because he stood up for her in a meeting, in a dinner meeting. And so they were like, oh, she's definitely like sleeping with that guy. And so she got spooked. Then he texts her and he's like, I'm downstairs at the cafe. If you want to meet, I'll take you to dinner tonight. And she like blows up in his face because the sexual harassment plus the slut shaming from her female colleagues and the whole hullabaloo about her not wearing a bra, it was a lot for her on that day. And she was like, I'm not dating you. I can't date. I just wanted to sleep with you, not date you. If you want to date me, quit being a CEO, basically. Sell off your company.
Yeah.
Because his company was a client of their, it was like, that's the whole thing. So he takes it to heart though, and he has this.
He's like, I really like her so much. I could sell my company, but I love both equally. And she realizes in that moment, like, wow, he actually truly cares about me. Yeah. So she needed to see that.
She did. She needed to see his little tears. He was crying. And everyone's like, why are you crying? He's like, I wasn't crying. Denying that he's been crying.
Eyes are so
bloodshot.
Like, sir, I don't know what
not
you're
fooling
trying
nobody.
To fool. Oh my gosh.
It was so much fun. But then, they start making out in the car. And they have like a deeply sexual relationship. But he definitely wants to get to know her. He's super intrigued by her. So she's a vixen. Like she's a very typical vixen type character who I think it was the developer kid who was with the other best friend.
Yeah.
The CEO asks him, like, I see that you know this girl Suji. Like, what's her deal? What did you think if we dated and stuff like that? Trying to get the lowdown on her before he signed the contract. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, man, nobody can handle her. I can't handle her. I had nothing to do with her in college and stuff. She had so many suitors and so many people asking her out. She was very popular. But like, he said, I cannot handle that source code. I think is what he said because he's a fucking developer. It's like so nerdy. And
love IT talk.
I know. And I was like, okay. He said she would ruin you. Is what he said. He's like, you cannot. She would ruin you. And I like that. I kind of think it's funny that they are really different personalities.
Oh, they're opposites for sure.
Complete opposites, the CEO and Suji, but they work. Like they're compatible. And he really wants it. Like he loves her.
Yeah. It's cute.
It's so cute. I love them together. So
I forgot how much I like them
Me
until
too.
I rewatched it. And I'm like, they're just so cute. Like, and they have good communication once they start communicating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's good communication. Unlike another couple, which...
Oh. We are segueing from the male lead and female lead and the second couple, which is Suji and the CEO, and we're going to the third couple, which is the BFF. Oh my God, what's her name?
Such a disaster.
It was a disaster. So this relationship, what do you have to say about Horang and Wonsuk, who's the developer that I was just talking about?
Okay, first things first. I feel like there was a lot of miscommunication. Like, she should have just told him her feelings. He should have told her his feelings. She should have been direct, because he is, like, at first, like, rewatching it, I'm like, he's a himbo. Like, he's a himbo, for sure.
For sure.
But then, you know, I'm seeing him act in, you know, all these other scenarios, and I'm like, wait, like, what is his audacity here? Like, what is he doing? Like,
yes.
And it just gets worse and worse. And I'm not gonna lie. I forgot. Like, as I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, so, and this, I mean, we're on the spoiler section. So, like, obviously they break up, and they're like trying to figure out how to live without each other. And like in most breakups, it takes a while, and she's starting to figure out what she wants and what, you know, she wants to do, and he's doing the same. And I'm like, oh, you know what, I think they're better off not together. I think that's good for them to work on themselves, because there was something going on when they were together that just wasn't, it was toxic. It wasn't a real relationship. And at the end, when they're like together with the kid, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to last. After seeing everything, I don't know. They went through a lot of trial and error, and perhaps maybe they can work it out. But there is so much that happened that was messy, and I just don't think I wanted them together at the end. I think it would have been a better lesson to see them grow off on their own.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought this was so this relationship and her character, Horang, she's a traditional, like, what do they call, trad wife. She wants to be a trad wife.
Yeah.
That has always been her goal, was to marry someone and become a homemaker. That was her life's goal. That was what she wanted out of life. And it was brutal to see her hitch her horse to this dumbass. Like, he was literally...
Yeah.
I could see it and I couldn't see it, because she laid out exactly what she was looking for. She was like, I want someone who makes their own money and made their own fortune versus someone who was already rich. And she got it in her head that engineering was the industry that was most popping off right now, had the most potential, and so she wanted to marry an engineer. So he met all of her criteria, right?
Yeah.
But she fell in love with potential.
Yeah.
Like, she basically was with him for 7 years. And there was a lot of talk from her about how she trained him to be better, how she trained him to basically be a good boyfriend. And I think people, like, what does it mean to, like, train someone? It means she basically built him up.
Yeah.
Built him up from scratch, because he was probably wearing the same underwear for a week. And just like you said, himbo could not function without her. Like, she was everything. She cooked, she cleaned, she maintained him, she supported him. And that is, I was like, it was unacceptable to me for her to do this for 7 years without ever having the hard conversation of, hey, are we going to get married? Do you want to get married? What is your life goal? Because his dream was to get his app off the ground.
Yeah.
His startup. And when they said what the startup was, what the app did, I was like throwing chairs in the room. I was so mad.
It's like, what is this concept if you're in a happy relationship? Like, I don't know where the inspiration came to me. Like, I don't.
He says, so this is what his app did. So I was initially like, I couldn't remember what his app did until they said it when I rewatched it.
I might have skipped it. So wait, tell me.
Okay, so the app, his app is an alarm clock app between friends. So you can set alarms for your friend.
That's so stupid.
To wake up.
So much.
Family and friends, like, you can set alarms for each other, and that's all the app did.
Okay, no, I skipped that. I skipped a lot of his scenes.
Okay, that's fine. I totally understand. But when they said this, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that is the lamest app. Who would want to buy that?
No one. Literally.
And his point was like, there's so many useless apps out there, like some that will like do this, that, and the other. Why is my app so useless compared to other useless apps that are doing well and people want them and buy them? And I was like, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? So he was like demoralized from the process of just dealing with I think he dealt with the development team at the other app, which was Dating Not Marriage.
Yeah, that's why I was confused for a second. I was like, he made the app? I'm like, okay, no,
he didn't do that app, but he showed up one day at the office at some point, and they were like, oh, you're the developer of the alarm clock app or whatever? And he was like, yeah, I am. And they were like, oh, well, we all used it the other day. And he was like, you used my app? He was like so stunned. And they go, yeah, we if we ever met the developer, we all wanted to say something. And he was like, tell me, like, what do you want to say? It's like, why would you make that app? And he was devastated that they were criticizing his app. Like, why would you put all of this effort into this stupid ass app?
For real. And then, like, not to mention, it started to take over his life. Like, you could literally see he didn't care about his relationship. And that's the part, I forgot about the ticket part. Like, literally, I forgot about that part. And I think it's so crazy that, like, she's like, we're going to go on a date. We're going to watch this show. And she asks him to, like, buy the tickets, I believe, like, multiple times.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll do it. And then they get there and he didn't buy the tickets.
He bought the wrong tickets.
Or he bought the wrong tickets.
Another show. Another play.
And the other show gave some clarity as to, like, what you were saying in the beginning of the podcast, you know, is love the same thing as, like dating to marriage? Is marriage the same thing as, like, if you love someone, can you, like, you know?
Yeah.
And it had her think really hard about it. And the thing that hurts my soul so badly is because she had, like, an epiphany watching this wrong show that she didn't even want to watch in the first place.
Yeah.
Which is like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe we are not meant to be. And she was crying. She was having an emotional moment. But she wasn't going to break up with him because she cared about him so much. And then this guy is like... I was literally about to say, this motherfucker.
That's fine.
He's like, let's break up. And it's like, you don't even deserve to say those sentences.
Break up with me?
Like, oh my gosh.
He was a broke dude. No prospects, making this useless app that no one was going to buy, like throwing his life away, wasting her time, wasting his time. And you're telling me after 7 years of her sticking that out and providing so much for you, so much emotional, like, stability and support, and like, you're telling me he was like, I wanted some proof that you love me or something? Do you remember he said that at one point? It wasn't in that scene.
So
it was another
stupid.
scene. He was like, I was like trying to find proof that you love me. And I was like, what further fucking proof do you need?
And I
and after 7 years, I was like, how does he not realize that she wants to get married?
And the thing I had the biggest problem with is after they broke up, like, how he realizes that, like, I do want to be with this person is he sees her with another guy.
Oh,
or he,
my
like,
God.
That's not love. I'm sorry. That's you wanting something that you can't have anymore.
Right.
It's jealousy. And I like, it sucks because I remember the first time I watched this, I was like, oh, I'm so sad. Like, they really loved each other.
I know. No,
they have
I was
such
never
a long
like that.
history. That was the first time. Second time, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Kidding?
How did she put up with this man's, like, BS for 7 years as well? Just like she hinted at getting married so much, and he just kept putting it on the back burner. And, like, eventually it's like,
never occurred to him that they should get married.
You never thought about their future.
7 years.
Never thought about their future. And
never thought about their future. And
so
the couch fiasco in episode 4, bro,
so awful,
bro. So she she's talking about getting this couch, this pink couch, and it's expensive, but it's also too large for them to just get out right now and stick it in their apartment. They live in a rooftop room. Okay? It's tiny. And she kept saying, like, I want this couch. I want this couch. He didn't put two and two together that she wants the couch to go inside a newlywed home that is obviously larger.
Yeah.
And obviously get married. Like, he didn't connect the dots on that. And it was so easy. It was like slow pitch. That's why she wants the couch. It's commitment. The couch represents commitment.
And he wouldn't commit. And
he wouldn't, but he gets the couch without everything else, which is a proposal, marriage, new house, right? Like this succession of things that she's expecting from him. And he gets the couch. It's in the middle of their fucking tiny ass room.
It looks so sad.
And she gets pissed. She gets so mad in that moment. And then he says, you should have said what you wanted clearly. Then I wouldn't have to put up with this crap.
Hi, Diva. It's Rachel.
And Jordan. Yeah, hi. Quick question.
Why are you not spending your Venmo balance?
Yeah, we're concerned.
You can, like, buy stuff with it.
Ugh, you love buying stuff.
And earn cash back on eligible purchases.
You love purchasing eligible things.
So the money your friend sent you yesterday, that's today's ramen or rideshare or eye patches.
The skincare kind, not the pyro kind.
Spend with Venmo, and you can earn cash back with Venmo Stash. Venmo Stash bundle terms and exclusions apply. Max $100 cash back per month. See terms at venmo.me/terms. ID verification required to use a Venmo balance.
I hate him. No, I don't like him.
That's verbatim what he said to her. And she was like, crap? Like, she couldn't believe he said this to her. They got the floor model, which means it's already been sat on by like a million different butts and is probably not that nice. Maybe has some damage, whatever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fit in their tiny place. This is all the things that she says. And then he says, do I have to beg again? Are you going to cry again? Why is it that I'm always the one apologizing?
Because you mess up.
You fucked
sir.
up, bro.
You keep messing up. That's why you have to apologize. That's how relationships work.
He doesn't even realize.
Just doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it. Like, why stick with a man who's so oblivious?
And so I don't think he should have got the girl.
No.
I don't.
No.
And it upsets me that it took him to like see her with another guy, which by the way, she didn't even know this guy.
No.
He just was like, I'll give you a ride. And then he's like, oh, she moved on so fast. And then he realizes, I want her. No, you don't get that. You had her for 7 years and you made no moves to make this permanent. You didn't appreciate her.
No.
Like you didn't. And it's so upsetting. And so, yeah, after
and
rewatching
cleaning
that,
for this man, being the backbone for this man, fixing his tie, he resented her.
Yeah.
He resented her for forcing the marriage. He thinks he forced the marriage. She forced the marriage on him. He proposes finally, but he's unhappy about it. And then he resents her for making him get a real job, a stable job, instead of him keeping going with his stupid ass app and trying to get that off the ground.
And that's not how it should be. And I have to say, when like
they're
they
30
do that
years
end
old.
scene, yeah,
they're 30. Like, where do you come? That's a man. That's a man.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting.
I don't understand why this is. Anyway, so yeah, I was reeling over their whole relationship, and I can't believe they got together at the end. I don't think they should have. I think it should have just been they broke up.
Like, their kid was cute on the bus, but I think she would have been so much more happy with the investment insurance guy, or not financial.
Yeah, he was like an accountant
guy,
dude.
Yeah, he handled the finances of the thing.
Yeah,
and
like
he
a CPA.
liked her. He was head over the heel. Like, he was like, I would get married to you. Like the first. He
was like, I'm interested in marriage, and that's why my last relationship didn't work out, because I wanted to get married and she didn't, basically. That's why he was telling her.
She's also interested in marriage, but she was like, no, I need, like, it's, anyways, I did like her character, but I think she deserved better.
Yeah.
And
sure.
I think it's also ridiculous that the guy and that girl who worked at the tech company or the IT company was like, look, we're a match on this app. And he like, it's so annoying because like he got out of the relationship and then he's seen her possibly being in a relationship, but then he's having someone be like, we could be in a relationship. And he's like, oh, I think I actually want to be with the girl I hate it.
I hate it. It's so bad.
I hate it. It was so mad. Okay. We should talk about the plot twist, though. It's a slight plot twist. It's the stupidest little tiniest plot twist, but I was like, why is this so like, okay, with the guy from Business Proposal, Glasses Man.
Oh God, yes. So let's talk about
what was that? Why did they do that?
This is so strange. They have Kim Min-kyu in this show as a supporting character. He's Boknam.
Yeah.
And he works at the coffee shop that the female lead gets a job at. He gets her the job because she has no experience doing that. She's only been a writer. And he gets her the job and he's flirting with her. He's extremely nice to her. And the plot twist is everyone thinks, well, not everyone, but the male lead and the staff at Dating Not Marriage, that app, got some complaints about his profile that said he was a stalker. And they were like, oh my God, he's a stalker. And
he's not a good guy.
Not a good guy. He's
the wrench.
Yeah.
He has this wrench in his bag,
You
and they're like,
think
he does bad things.
You think he's going to
with it.
bash her head in with this like wrench that he keeps in the back of his motorcycle? And it's just not the case at all. Okay, the plot twist is no, he's not a crazy stalker murderer. He is just a dude making bad financial decisions.
Just a part-timer. He's just a part-timer that's handsome.
Insanely expensive motorcycle, and he's not on any of these dating apps and hasn't been banned from anything. The real murderer was catfishing everybody with his photos, with Kim Min-kyu's photos. And that plot twist of he's not really I would have preferred him just be a stalker.
It was so random. Like, I feel like in most K-dramas, you know, they have to throw in a little fun little twist, but it was so like, First of all, when he likes her, but I have to say the hardest line, so ridiculous. Like when, you know what I'm talking about, when her husband, her like fake husband or whatever, is across the street and she's talking to the guy and he's like, I like you. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I have a husband. He's like, but that doesn't mean you can't have a boyfriend. And it's like,
what the fuck? That's right. I forgot that Kim Min-kyu says that to her. He's like, what? That doesn't mean you can't have a boyfriend just because you got a husband. Sir.
And the husband is right across the street. He can't hear that.
No,
though.
but
like,
he
it's
sees
just
that.
like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. And then they paint him in a light where they're like, he's actually stalking people. He's gonna hurt your wife. Like, he's been hanging out with her because he works at the same job. You better take her to the bus stop and watch out for her.
Right.
But then he uses the wrench to open beer. Like,
it's so stupid. So I thought it was funny. I actually thought this whole thing was funny. But yeah, if you look at it logically, you're like, what the hell is this plot twist that happens with Kim Min-kyu's side character? And I just wish they followed through and that he really was a stalker.
It would have been interesting for sure, but I just thought it was so silly that they like really like wound it up. They started using suspenseful music. They started showing them hanging out at night. Something bad could happen. You never know. And then of course the guy literally like kicks or a main guy kicks the motorcycle, which can we please circle back, because literally the guy is like, first of all, the shop guy, the part-timer, has this expensive motorcycle. And he's like, this motorcycle is more than your your mortgage payment. Like, this is such an expensive motorcycle. And our man is frugal. He's a frugal guy, okay? So he's like, I'm not going to mess this up. And they show, honestly, a ridiculous comedic scene where he like
funny.
flips over the motorcycle
to try not to fall on it. He's falling, but he like makes a freaking martial arts flip.
It happens twice. It happens twice. So you're like, like, okay, this man does not want to owe this guy money for damaging the motorcycle. But then when his girl could be in trouble, he's like, I'm going to kick this motorcycle.
He kicks the mirror off the motorcycle, then kicks the motorcycle over. But I mean, the scene is good. In that he makes a closer connection with her. And he's
it leads
very
to the
concerned.
hand-holding scene.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't mind that. I just would have minded. I mind that they psyched out the audience.
Yeah. Me too, because it was so random. Like, literally, we were all like, okay, he's a bad guy. They're going to get closer.
I understand catfishing, and I understand that the catfisher would use Kim Min-kyu's photos because he's stunning. But I just think he should have been a stalker. What's wrong with having Kim Min-kyu play a stalker for 5 minutes?
They said
stalkers can be hot. Just saying.
He can be the boyfriend with the husband, though. You know,
and then So, but the Kim Min-kyu's character, not Kim Min-kyu, Lee Min-ki, the male lead, his character says, "Hurry up, let's go to our home," and holds out his hand, and they walk hand in hand all the way back to the house. Like, he does not let her go, and that's a great scene because
such a good
there was a whole thing that they had earlier about him using the word our, we, us, uri, and she's getting off on it. Like, she's getting drunk off of him, basically linking them up verbally and saying it's our home, our this, our that, us, and she's desperately looking for a home, a sense of belonging, and she's never been in a relationship before, so she's reading so much into it. Yeah. And earlier in the show, she had said, I think she named the cat. She named the cat Hour.
She named the cat Hour.
Uri. And got like the
so
cutest
so cute.
What is it? Collar for the cat that said like Uri in like a wooden,
like engraved.
Yes, it was amazing. So she got this thing. She named the cat. He did not like her naming the cat Hour. And he put up these walls. He like drew party lines. He was like, we're not doing that. I just want you to do your own thing. And it soured it completely. And so she was like, why don't you not say that anymore? Why don't you not say our? Because I seem to like it and don't. So they drew these lines earlier, and then he comes in hot trying to save her from the stalker, going like, let's go home to our home.
Exactly.
And hold her hand all the way home. Oh my God.
And then they get into the house, okay? And he is like, I'm going to shower first. She's like, okay. And then he starts walking into the bathroom, and he looks at her. He's like, why are you following me into the bathroom? And she's like, because you're still holding my hand.
She's like, I'm not. You're gripping me here, okay?
He wouldn't let go.
No.
And he didn't even realize it. Like, he's literally just like, I'm gonna go take a shower now. But like, I was dying at like the timing and like the way he said why. Because she's literally like, because like when he's holding her hand, they're walking, he just looks at her and goes, why? And she's like, I don't know what, you haven't let go. I don't know what to say. But like, oh, they're so cute.
They are.
They're so
and then
cute.
he keeps the cat she throws away the cat collar.
I know.
He somehow, some way gets it out of the trash and keeps it.
The end episode was everything. It was so good. He finally expresses his emotions and how he feels, and she is like, this is all I've like, this is what I've wanted, like, because he's not expressive. I will say though, with the past lover coming into the picture, there's positives and negatives to that. First, like, positive, obviously she's going in a different step with her career, and she's gonna, you know, she has someone that can vouch and help her with her career and do stuff with that. But also, and like, it pushes him to, like, if he really like cares about her and figuring that out. But I also thought it was kind of not stupid, but it could have not been in the show. They could have not added that, but they also needed to, because we needed to see why he was so guarded and why he had all these specific reasons why he was like that to other people.
Exactly. I think I like the effect of the past girlfriend who was living with, this is very progressive, by the way, like all of this, that he lived with his girlfriend in college and they got pregnant and then she lost the baby and they broke up and the family never approved and it was ugly, ugly, ugly. All of this is super progressive.
Yeah.
For K-drama and for Korean society as well. So I think the show, I like that aspect of it, and I like how it changed him. Like the experience totally changed him, and he thought he was cursed, basically.
Yeah. He didn't want to love someone again because he didn't want to.
Right.
It's so sad.
So I like the effects of it, but I don't necessarily love that she came back in the picture. Even though I like that character. It was like a good female mentor kind of relationship with her and the female lead.
Yeah.
But as far as like what it did to their relationship and how she kind of like backed off, they broke up around here. She was like, I want to annul the contract. It's like, oh, but I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. But like maybe that's something that they needed to do so then he could realize how much he missed her and wanted her next to him.
Mm-hmm.
But that scene where he's like, I'm dreaming. I know you're not here. I know when I open my eyes, you're not going to be here. And
oh, shit.
Kill me. Kill
Dang
me.
it.
It's so good.
It is.
It's so good. It's very well written. Like, I truly think that, like, anyone that hasn't seen this drama needs to at least check it out once.
Yeah.
Because it just, it's good.
It's really good. I'm going to hit some notes that I think we skipped over just because we're going all over the place in the show.
We're going
but that's
too
fine.
fast.
No, but that's fine. So in episode 3, the head writer, this is what we talked about earlier, where the head writer that she was dealing with before, who didn't care about her at all, she cozies up to her in episode 3, and there's this whole entrapment thing because she swears, oh, let's go have drinks, just us two. But the showrunner and the young director are there, and she immediately, the way that Jung So-min shuts down in that scene,
sad.
It's so sad but so real. You know, she doesn't leave. There's not this outburst right away. She still goes in and she's feeling trapped.
She was lied to. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was lied to. So they all pressure her to make up with the director who attempted to sexually assault her and accept his apology. And she goes, what are you all trying to do? I'm the victim here. It was attempted sexual assault. Verbatim, that's what she says. And the director jumps in and tries to cut her off, and she snaps her head toward him and says, shut up before I have you arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, she stands up. I will say, though, it's pretty awful because in that they're like, using victim is a bit too much. Like, don't use that word.
Yes.
Like,
they're trying to play with it.
Yes. Downplay her experience. Like, this mentally affected her. And they're like, okay, but you need to write more and you have to still work with him and he's going to apologize and it'll be all fine. No, that's not how the world works.
Oh my God. She gives this wonderful analogy of it basically being hit on the head on the street with a rock and them telling her, no, you didn't get hit. You're fine. Like, keep walking, instead of carrying her on their back to the hospital. Because they're saying we're doing the best we can here. And she's like, the best would be you supporting me and taking me to the hospital if I was bleeding from my head. Like, I'm the victim. Like, she's basically putting it in perspective for them. And I think the showrunner says this is terrible, but he says, if you whine about stuff like this, how are you going to make any dramas?
With Plan B emergency contraception, we're in control of our future. It's backup birth control you take after unprotected sex that helps prevent pregnancy before it starts. It works by temporarily delaying ovulation, and it won't impact your future fertility. Plan B is available in all 50 U.S. states at all major retailers near you, with no ID, prescription, or age requirement needed. Together, we've got this. Follow Plan B on Insta at Plan B One Step to learn more. Use as directed.
Yeah. And she's like, I guess I'm not going to.
Yeah.
And that's how that goes.
Ugh.
But in the end, it was the best because, then she does begin to write like for herself and create things that she's really proud of. Whereas before, people were writing over her stuff.
Yeah. At one point, she says marrying out of love is something only the rich can do.
That's true.
Just leaving that on the table.
That can be true.
Oh my God.
I mean,
yeah.
It's crazy.
Episode 5 and 6, I think this is their wedding. Girl, the mom. This is one of the only times that I was bawling in the show, was this whole thing with her mother, who is played by the wonderful Kim Sung-young. God, what hasn't she been in? Kim Sung-young. Let me see. God, she's been in so many things. She's been in Crash Course in Romance, The Silent Sea, Backstreet Rookie, Hospital Playlist, Episode 7. She's one of the Ajumas in Reply 1988. Everything. She's been in so many things. Crash Landing on You. She's everywhere. If you see her, you'll be like, oh my God, I love this Ajuma. I love her as the mom in Because This Is My First Life. And I think back to this performance so often. In Episode 5, she's silently protesting the marriage. And
she is.
When the families meet, she is very standoffish. And she thinks that the in-laws, their compliments are thinly veiled insults. That them saying, oh, she's so calm and amiable. Like, they think she's like, they're saying that you're easy to control. That you're at their beck and call. This doesn't mean, oh, you're so nice and sweet. They're like, no, they can do whatever they want to you, is what they're saying to you. They're looking down on you. And she goes, I didn't send you to a prestigious school in Seoul just so that you can get married instead of getting a job, because this was the other option. Like, now I've quit my job, quit my career, I have to get married.
Yeah.
And she calls it all a waste. It's such a waste. And I was like, wow, this is a stay-at-home mom. This is a homemaker. This is a woman who has devoted her life to her family, to her husband. And she feels that doing what she did is a waste.
Was a waste. She wants the best for her daughter.
Yeah.
And the book that she makes and the note that she writes.
I was crying.
It's so beautiful. Like because she's been overshadowed like her whole life, and everything that she says, it doesn't matter because it didn't come from her husband. And she finally gets that moment to show her feelings and be like, it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Touching.
I have some of the letter here. So the mom writes this letter and says to the husband, like, this is all to the male lead, but the female lead reads it, and she says, it's important to be born to good parents. Otherwise, it's all useless no matter how smart you are. Sei, would it be all right if I asked you just 2 things? If Jiho ever wants to write again, could you let her do it? I'll come and help with whatever house chores you have. Please, if she ever wants to write again in the future, don't let her give up on her dreams like I did. And my Jiho, when she starts to cry, she can't stop easily. So please don't let her cry alone. Even if you were the reason for her tears, please stay by her side no matter what.
That note right there. That is so touching.
It is so perfect. And yeah, she starts bawling. Like, she cannot stop crying after this, after reading her mom's letter. In episode 6, Sei has a sit down with the mom, and he tells the mom that, Jiho is strong. Like, even if she looks weak and shy, she's strong. And that her writing, quitting, and even marrying him were all her choices. Which brings in, like, that whole consent thing. Like, nobody's forcing her to do this.
Yeah.
And he promises that he'll never interfere with her choices and never be a hindrance to her. And it's so great. He says, like, I'm sorry that I can't say the usual stuff. I will protect her. I'll make her happy. And the mom responds with, you are a couple, but you are not responsible for each other's happiness. In an era when making yourself happy is hard enough, not interfering with the other's dreams is the best thing to do. I like that better than when you said you won't make her lift a finger, which is a callback to earlier in the show. And
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Like it's they do communication so well. And I love it. Like I said, like all the characters, like the mother is the only one I like besides, like, I mean, in Jiho's family, but that scene was so touching because I think
thinks
like
about her
yeah,
in very respectful way. So
he's so respectful, and they both respect each other, and then that respect grows into love, and it's such a beautiful, mature story about that.
Yeah, and then later on, I think he says that though we both agreed to the contract after the marriage ends, it's likely that you will suffer a bigger loss than me. You're a woman and you're younger than me, so the social judgment against you could be harsher. Hence, all links to me should be kept to a minimum. And any event shared by both of us, I thought would be right to avoid them as much as possible. So he's literally coming into this as well, even though he's basically already caught feelings by now. He's like, I'm trying to do right by you so that when this thing ends, you can go about your life without any consequences.
Yeah.
It's sad because he's working within the confines of the patriarchy and these double standards and the sexism that exists in their society. Even though he doesn't subscribe to it, he's like, I just don't want to ruin this for you. I don't want to ruin your life.
He still is thinking about her and thinking about everything that she will have to face with that. And I will say, and this is like spoilers, but we're in spoilers. But at the end of it, I love that they covered that, like, they don't go to each other's homes anymore. Like, they're happy just being with each other, and because like the parents caused so much drama, and I love that they drew those lines with them.
Yes,
I think that was it needed to happen, and it was good.
And this goes into just Korean society, I would say, like their family dynamics and how the daughter-in-law is sort of a slave to her in-laws when she gets married, and they go into the daughter-in-law syndrome and how she wants to look her best in front of her in-laws and get them to like her, and so she'll do anything for them, and they take advantage of that. The in-laws literally take advantage of that. His parents and his mom especially is like, oh, she doesn't let her son lift a finger, wash dishes, cut up an apple or anything. She's like, oh no, this is like, why would you do that? You don't know anything about that. You don't know anything about homemaking. Like, leave it to the experts, meeting the women. And it's like, she's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And the night that she does the funeral rites, the ancestral rites, where she's cooking, like, she was a slave. That's unpaid labor.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, they really showed like it's throughout the show, the patriarchy and the sexism and everything, and it's a clear line of like what you can see and what happens. And yeah, I love that they kind of cut the line off of that. They're like, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. Nope. That's not something we want to do.
That's in their real marriage contract, which they renegotiate every year. This is the end of the show when they are finally together. They basically set these ground rules where it's like, you don't have to go to my house and do all that shit, and I don't have to go to your house and do any of that shit either. Like, we are a unit together. We are not going to, we're going to cut out all of this unnecessary bullshit that is really degrading the relationship and causing resentment, right?
Exactly. No, exactly. And I think that was it was a good move on their part.
Which is why I say it's progressive, because that's not the case in most Korean marriages, I'm sure. And speaking of marriage, I just want to touch on the best friend Horang once again, because I have this moment where this is in episode 9, I think, halfway through the show, where the female lead is musing about her friend. She's talking about like how she used to wear colorful things when she was younger. She was so outgoing. She was very extroverted, and she was all about showing off her uniqueness. And she has this voiceover, when did we start being embarrassed to wear colors different than other people?
Yeah.
And how she asks her friend, like, why do you want to get married? And they're standing in front of a window shop where there's different color coats are on display. And she says this whole thing about the red coat versus the black coat, that the people that wear red coat, basically people that stand out, are ostracized from society. They're not incorporated into society, even if they live a very fulfilling, wonderful life. If you're not married, if you're not conforming, if you're not having children, you're going to be left out. You're going to be left behind. And it was so sad to see how she dulled her colors just to follow the crowd, you know?
Yeah. And I think in that moment, you know, she realized, is this really what I want to do, or am I just following everyone else? Which I want to touch on that color topic, because did you notice after they had that conversation that our main girl is wearing colorful clothing? Like, she was wearing like a pink coat, and then she's doing all kinds of other stuff. And I think it shows a lot of growth. And then, like, with that conversation, she's like, you're right, I want to do my own thing. And then she starts wearing color again, which I think is really beautiful.
Yeah, the quote that I have from the BFF, Horang, is she wants to get married so I don't stand out. I'll be the same as other people. To me, marriage means that I'm as good as everyone else, that I have worth as a woman. And I was like, whoo, problem. Because she's putting all of her worth in the marriage, in a man. And I'm like, what is it? Like, it's such a crazy brainwashing that has happened in this very patriarchal society, where you're useless, you have no value unless you're married and with children.
Yeah. And they kind of like drum it in your head too, like from a young age. So then it's kind of all instilled, which is crazy. But like, you have that friend, right, that's like, I need to have a man, and I need to be married in order to feel like I belong and feel like I have a purpose. But then we have her friend over here that is like, I guess I'll do this contract relationship with this guy, and I'm going to start my own company, and I love that, like, a main part of it is like, she doesn't like, you know, wearing bras at work. So she makes a company for like comfortable bras. Yeah. Like, it's so cool to see her,
it's a nice
her reach out.
Moment.
Exactly. But then it almost feels like with the other character, the friend that we were talking about, like, it almost feels like it's unfulfilled, right? Because she goes back to the guy. She does the thing that she's literally talking about, like how she doesn't want to do that. Like, that's not something, and it kind of hurts my feelings.
It does.
Because like, why would they touch on that to show that she's, you know, making these observations that it's something that she might not want to do, and she misses wearing colorful clothing, but then to go and do the thing that she was just talking about.
I know.
She might not want to do. It's silly.
I'm so sad about it.
It's the only qualm I had. But other than that, a beautiful show.
I know. I love the kimchi making and him making kimchi. And she shows up later in the day. His face lights up when she finally shows up.
Well, that kiss scene.
Bro! So this is what I mean by, like, people just haven't watched enough K-drama if they think that some of the kiss scenes that are happening now are great kiss scenes. Because this kiss scene by the beach...
It's like a top 10, I think.
Girl! Top 10! I love that. I love that. Because they kiss in the first episode, right? So he starts hearkening back to that, and he says, you can't even call that a kiss at the bus stop. Like, it's really a peck. And first, like I said before, that was not a bad kiss by any stretch. It was good. So she takes offense. She knows she's inexperienced, so she takes offense, and she stands up offended and concedes, like, okay, yeah, like, it wasn't a good kiss or whatever. I did it wrong. And he goes, that's not how you do a kiss. A kiss is done like this. And he kisses her, hand placement on the neck.
And then she, like, grabs him, and then they're, like, embracing for, I think the reason why it's just, like, so, like, you're like, what? It's because her phone's ringing, and he's just, like, they're kissing, and he's like, oh, your phone, and she's just, like, in a trance.
Yes.
Like, she's been wanting this. He's been wanting this. Who's calling? The mother, of course.
Yeah,
but
of course, her mom.
It was a really good scene because, like you said, like, consent is such a huge thing, and they cover it so much where he's just like, can I do this? Can I do this? And that scene was so good because she thinks he's making fun of her. And he's like, let me show you.
Yeah. But then, I mean, he pulls back after the initial kiss and he says, now do you understand better?
Yeah.
If not, do you need to know more? Basically, as like, he's like, do we keep doing this? And I'm already screaming and like throwing up in the corner. And she goes, more, I want to know more. And they just start making out at the beach. Okay. Like, it's just a full on makeout session. I'm screaming. I mean, you need to mop me up because it's that good. I love that kiss scene.
That's a good one. I forgot about it.
Oh,
I
me
like
too.
forgot until it popped back up, and I'm like, I remember this when I first watched it because I remember like I also binged this the first time I watched it, and it was like 4 or 5 in the morning because I couldn't stop watching it after like that kiss scene. I was like, I need to know what happens. Like,
no, there's no. Once you hit that kiss scene, you're kind of like, what? We have to keep going.
Cannot stop. It was like 4 in the morning, and I was like, why is this so, like, the last episode was so good because it just showed so many, and I was like a mess, but it was like a good mess because I was like, dang, I am so sad that the show has ended because all of these characters are just so relatable, and you just get to know them very well, and
I love it. I love this show, and I miss them. They pop off the page, and yeah, I have like no other things to say really. Like, it's just so good. I am so glad that we went on this journey together and we talked about the show at length because I really feel like people need to watch it. It's so underrated and it's so easy to find. I think it's on Viki and Netflix at the moment.
It is.
So just pick your poison. Yeah, it's absolutely worth your time. Even if there's like these are nitpicky things about like Kim Min-kyu's character. And I think even the best friend Ho-rang getting with that freaking dude,
so we don't talk about it.
Alarm clock app dude. People make bad decisions, okay? Like, people can make bad decisions in real life, and the character, I feel like, should have tried to find her own identity, but that was her goal all along. Like, each girl got what she wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, she got what she wanted. The other bestie, Suji, she always wanted to be a boss, her own boss. She did that. She made her own company based on her own experiences and not liking wearing a bra and stuff. And then our female lead also got what she wanted. Her goal was to like fall in love at least once, like have this all-encompassing love. It wasn't even to be a great writer.
Yeah.
And she
went on to do that.
Yeah.
She went on to do that, though. It's a nice little happy ending. And then it's really cute, like, when they're on the couch and he, like, lays down on her lap and she's just, like, playing with his hair. Like, it makes you feel like their relationship is real. Like, I know they're acting, okay, but they just seem so real.
The gestures and stuff and the way they interact it feels real.
It's like raw. Yeah. You're like watching them interact. You're like, they care about each other. This is a real story.
Yes.
But it was,
and the cat's
so
cute
good.
Too. That's good. Bonus.
Yeah. The cat is so cute.
The cat is it's the best cat I've ever seen. When the cat's at the vet's office, I was like, this is a wonderful cat, because I have seen so many horror stories about cats in the vet office. And this cat was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I get whatever. Give me a shot. I don't care. It's so good.
I want to touch on something real quick about the vet's office, because while they're in the vet's office, the vet is talking about the first time he brought in the cat because it was from the streets, and like he was like defending this cat and like, you need to do something and you need to, and then later there's a scene where our main girl is in the car with her brother and he's bringing up something that she did in the past where there was like, I don't know if it was like a stray dog.
It was a stray dog.
Yeah, and
a
like,
neighbor wanted to take the dog and eat it, like dog meat.
Yeah, and she was like, "No, you're not going to do this. I'm not." And then she defended, and you can see in his like little mind doing a little worrying thing, and he's like, "We are so alike.
Yes,
like, we have the same things." And you can see he's slowly starting to care about her more the more he gets to know her, and I love it. I love it. Oh, it's so good.
I love it so much. It's so deep. Okay, so. Thank you so much. I'm going to cut us off because we could be here for another 3 hours, I swear. I know, but thank you so much for coming on the show, Becky, and for being so passionate about, because this is my first life. I hope everyone can know that you can contact either of us at any point to talk about this show. Where can we find you online, Becky?
Okay, so my TikTok is Don't Sue Rebecca. And then I do have an Instagram where I just post edits. I don't use it very much, but it's the same. Is it the same name? Or is
You
it
have
a different name?
two
Let me check it
Instas,
real quick.
But you're also a cosplayer, so I know that one is more focused on
Yeah.
cosplay.
Okay, yes. No, the other one, it is Don't Sue Rebecca. It's just
Okay.
Don't Sue Rebecca on both. So, which is funny. I don't know if I've told you, I've literally had people comment. They're like, I am gonna sue you because I watched the show and it made me sad or something. Or like, it's funny because it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I'm
sorry.
actually gonna press charges because I
Like-
didn't. Wow.
Like someone stitched one of my videos.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know why they call her Don't Sue Rebecca? And I was like,
Oh my god. Relax.
it's just my middle name. It's just my middle name. It's not a
literally
verb. Don't sue me.
It's a middle name.
It's Sue.
Right. It literally has nothing to do with suing someone. All right. This was so much fun. I hope you come back, Becky. And
You have to watch the Noodle Shop.
The
Well, wait, you've already
Flower
watched
Boy
it.
Ramen Shop.
I have to watch
It's
it.
so funny. It's so old. All right. Anyway,
Okay.
we're gonna get out of it. It's okay. That's been our show. I'm Jessica, and this has been the K-Rambles podcast.